When the architecture department at MIT contacted us to do their logo for a festival for their 150th anniversary, we were a little nervous because of the scope of the project and the size of the inflatable. It was going to be installed on a barge in the Charles River, and it was going to be 80 feet long.
We arrived at the harbor the night before the installation. A customer already had the balloon. They had set it up on the barge, and they placed their lights around the base of the balloon to get that part of it worked out. The next morning, they deflated the balloon and moved the barge from the harbor up the Charles River to the location in front of the school, where it was anchored about 30 feet offshore. We showed up that afternoon and inflated the balloon, secured it with steel cables to prevent it from ever leaving the barge because it would be up for 5 days. During the first afternoon, the wind picked up and the wind actually moved the barge off its anchors. We quickly deflated the balloon and the barge company came about 8:30 that night. We re-inflated the balloon in the dark, which I'll tell you is quite a trick. The big part about that is the balloon's white, and the balloon can't leave the barge and get in the water in any way because it will get it dirty, and this was a movie screen. Over the course of 3 days, this happened several times. Once the show started, the balloon was ready, it was in place, it looked great, and everybody was very happy.
The project was really cool. They did some sampling of the sound under the water, and they did video projection mapping onto the inflatable so that it interacted with the crowd, and so that was really cool. Takeaways I'd give you from this job are, first of all, to plan for power, and make it pretty if you can. They had a large generator on the barge with the inflatable, and they kept it fueled up during the week. They also created a plywood structure around the generator. This not only made it more aesthetically pleasing, but it also cut down on sound from the generator. Secondly, I'd check with local requirements. Make sure you have your city permits pulled. You may have to talk with a fire marshal. In the case of the MIT job, the Coast Guard got involved because they were out offshore. Finally, have a bad weather action plan. We had unseasonably windy weather during this job, and it resulted in having to change the way we worked with the inflatable. Learn more about this project and get tips to help you plan your future events. Download our workbook at the link below or on our website at landmarkcreations.com.